What up? There we go. Oh, wait, I'm in the middle now? Oh, yeah, because of last night. Go to the side a little bit. A little side action. There we go. Wow. Dude, we are so like, are we? Okay, cool. Why are you such a jerk to me then all the time? We're so alike, why are you such a jerk to me all the time? If I found somebody like me, I'd be cool with it. I wouldn't be a jerk. Makes me not believe you when you say we're alike, you know? Let's be honest, it's tough to take. Just come in here and you're mean to me all the time. I have to cry about it. I'm just kidding. I don't. There's some drone strikes on Russia in the airport. Pretty freaky.
Well, Ukraine has launched what appears to be the biggest wave of airstrikes into Russia since the start of the war. Ukraine has launched what appears to be the biggest wave of airstrikes into Russia since the start of the war. Ukrainian drones targeted these 6 regions in Russian territory. Pskov city was the hardest hit. A large fire started at an airport where several military planes were also damaged. There were also attacks near Moscow that led to flights at several airports being suspended. Further south, there have been reports of drones being shot down in Bryansk, Kaluga, Oryol, and Ryazan regions.
Kaluga.
These attacks went unusually deep into Russian territory and mark a major escalation in Ukraine's use of drone warfare. Robert Bryant has more.
They're using drones now.
This was one of the most intensive exchanges of missile and drone strikes so far in the war. Attack drones struck 6 regions inside Russia, with the most northerly target an airbase near the city of Pskov, where it's reported more than 20 drones were used, starting large fires. 4 giant transport planes on the ground were hit, although the extent of the damage is disputed by both sides. Moscow says it downed many of the attacking drones, accusing Kyiv of targeting civilians, assisted by its Western backers.
Ukrainian drone attacks on civilian objects confirm the terrorist essence of the Kyiv regime once again. It's clear that Ukrainian drones weren't able to fly those distances without assistance from Western satellite information.
Russia has warned the strikes will not go unpunished. As is often the case, Ukraine hasn't confirmed it's behind these latest strikes, merely referring to them cryptically as accidents happening on Russian territory. But leaders in Kyiv say that air bases used to launch attacks on Ukrainian territory are legitimate targets. Just before daybreak Wednesday, much of Kyiv was awoken by a series of explosions as more than 40 Russian drones and missiles targeted the city in waves from all directions, with Ukraine claiming to have shot down nearly all of them. But there were casualties, with several people killed and injured in what's said to be the largest Russian attack in months, with every indication of more airstrikes from both sides to come.
What up, Patrick?
Rob
It's
McBride,
about to get crazy.
Al Jazeera, Kyiv.
Well, joining us live now from northern Ukraine is Ukrainian Army Captain Vladimir Omelyan. He was also the former Minister of Infrastructure of Ukraine. Captain, Moscow is saying these are your drones and that they targeted civilians.
Shout out to Girth Brooks, man of many screen names.
Hello, I'm very happy to be with you. Thank you for having me. Concerning this particular situation, we see that war is ongoing. And we didn't start this war, but definitely Ukraine will conclude this war by victory over Kremlin. What happened this night in 6 regions of Russia, it's only the beginning. And whatever Russians say, our prime objects are military bases and military potential of Russian Empire. So it's our prime importance to conclude their living and existing.
So to be very clear, Captain, you're saying that these were your drones, that there will be more, and that you've been targeting military infrastructure?
I think that era of dominancy of Russia in aviation and drones is over. Ukraine will not stand the situation that only we are under permanent Russian attacks. And Russian military, first of all, shall get used to the thought that they are under permanent, that they are permanent target for Ukrainian militaries as well.
Ukraine has been somewhat reluctant to take responsibility for targets and attacks inside Russia, especially around Moscow. I'm wondering if that's changing, especially now we're seeing this demonstration of clear long-range capability here.
I wouldn't say that we refrain from any kind of attacks on Russian territory. And we always said that it's not only Ukrainian territory to be on war. The same will happen to Russia. And Russians brought war to Ukraine. We will bring it back. And frankly saying, I see that drone industry is booming right now, and we are coming to new era of war trends. Unfortunately, we are not also happy with that, but we were not the first one to start it. And if we see that there is something
that's the line.
For us to be destroyed on Russian territory, we will do that.
Well, let me ask you then, as you say, we're entering a new phase of the war. Would you say that Ukraine's counteroffensive strategy is yielding the results you were looking for? It's been going a little more slowly, perhaps, than many anticipated?
It's not a Hollywood movie, and it takes blood and it takes lives. And definitely we are not ready to sacrifice every life of our soldier. We would like to make them live. That's why it's not a blitzkrieg. As Russians thought it will be, but it's successful. And you see that since recently we break through this so-called Surovikin line or Russian Tsar trenches, which we call it sometimes, and progress of Ukrainian troops in the south is visible.
Captain, I understand you were not a fighter when this war broke out. A lot has obviously changed since then. I know you have a family, children at home. How is the war now viewed by the people at home around Ukraine?
Yes, it's a difficult challenge for us, and as our General Commander Zaluzhny once said, that war starts with professional soldiers and ends with musician managers or PR specialists. It means that human power is not endless one, but we do understand that we should fight, and there is no alternative for us. And we fight for our kids, as you rightly said, for our families, which are behind our backs. And this is the best motivation, and this is the best moral for all Ukrainian army to stand still and to fight Russians.
Ukrainian Army Captain Vladimir Omelyan there speaking to us from northern Ukraine. Thank you so much for joining us here on Al Jazeera, Captain. Great to get the latest from you. Thank you.
All right, there we go. So yeah, that's that just happened. It's pretty great that you know. I'm sure nothing bad will happen from that. See, I'm gonna see what Weon's saying about it real quick.
Are drones. Kiev conducted fresh attacks. Ukraine is taking the war into Russia. Their weapons of choice are drones. Kiev conducted fresh.
Is Tom okay? I think Tom is all right. We did that whole prank at the end of it too. He got real salty about the prank for sure.
Attacks today. Their biggest assault on Russia since the war began. Ukraine struck 6 regions in Russia, and with each strike, they're trying to break Russian defenses and penetrating deeper into Russia. In today's operation, they reached as far as 600 kilometers inside Russian territory. It was one of Ukraine's most daring missions yet. What do they hope to achieve with this? Can drones change the trajectory of this conflict? That's our lead story tonight, and we'll start with some pictures. These are from the Pskov region. Russia has an airport here. Last night, it was targeted by Ukrainians. Their drones destroyed multiple military planes. Going by one claim, 2 planes burst into flames. And what kind of planes are these?
A lot more information
Transport
than the Al Jazeera
planes
one.
used by the military. Pskov is nowhere close to Ukraine. It is more than 600 kilometers into
Everybody
Russia.
gave
It
them
falls
drones,
closer
man.
to the Estonian border. And this was not the only target. 5 more regions came under attack. Oriel, Bryansk, Ryazan, Kaluga, and the Moscow region. Russia declared that it will hit back.
The actions of the Ukrainian regime will not go unpunished. Russian law enforcement structures are investigating and properly documenting all facts of shelling by Ukrainian militants of Russian regions and their other criminal actions.
And they did. Moscow launched drones and missiles towards Kiev. It was Russia's biggest bombardment in months, but it was not effective. Ukraine's air defenses managed to down all 28 missiles fired by Russia, also 15 out of the 16 Russian drones that came their way. And yet there were casualties. At least 2 people died in Ukraine. They were struck by the falling debris. From the looks of it, this is going to get worse. So expect more attacks in the coming days. Because Ukraine's drone war is intensifying. Kiev never takes credit for these
Makes
strikes.
you nervous? Why?
But they never deny their involvement either. Look at this map. It shows all the drone attacks Russia has suffered till early August. A large number of them happened near the border. Now look at the southern region, that's Crimea. This year, it has witnessed a high number of drone attacks. And that's not all. Drones have also targeted the Russian capital, Moscow. Also caused damage in central Russia. These strikes are disrupting daily life in the country. It happened today in Pskov. The airport here is used for civilian flights too. All flights from this airport were cancelled today. And that's not all. 3 other airports had to be closed. Although that disruption was brief, at least 12 flights had to be diverted. And that is the idea, really, behind the use of drones. It puts pressure on ordinary Russians. Ukraine wants them to feel that the war has come to their doorstep. They want Russia to feel vulnerable. And drones prove to be effective in this pursuit. They're small, they're fast, and they can fly long distances. Plus, it seems Russian radars are unable to catch them. But that's the limited purpose they serve. Drone strikes will not lead to a Ukrainian victory. They will, at best, give them good headlines and expose the limits of Russian defenses. Off the record, Ukraine's military concedes that these attacks have a limited impact. What they do is impede Russian advances, slow down their forces, and offer a temporary advantage to Kiev. When Moscow decides, it can muster the means to counter this. Putin has resourceful allies to fall back on, like the president of China, Xi Jinping. In fact, the Russian president is planning to visit China soon. He's got an invite from the Chinese president. In October, Xi Jinping is hosting the Belt and Road Forum, and Putin will attend the event in person. Why is this noteworthy?
All right, whoever
Because
called,
Putin has
call back.
I
didn't have it hooked up. There you go. It's hooked up now. Feel free to call back.
Off late. Since the war began, he's traveled outside Russia only twice, once to visit Iran and the second time to some former Soviet states in Russia's neighborhood. He did not go to the BRICS summit in South Africa. He has also opted out of the G20 summit in India. In fact, on Monday, he called Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inform him about this decision. Putin has not traveled overseas since March this year. That's when an arrest warrant was issued in his name. The International Criminal Court had found him guilty of war crimes. So Putin has become more selective about his travel plans. Reports say he's willing to visit only those countries where his security and safety is guaranteed, and clearly he deems China to be safe. His last visit to China was in February 2022, less than 3 weeks before he invaded Ukraine.
She's up late thinking of Tom.
A no-limits partnership.
Her new boyfriend. We're going to hook Amy up with Tom.
Russia-China no-limits partnership. The relationship has only deepened since then. Putin is counting on support from Xi, both for the war in Ukraine and for the Russian economy. So far, Beijing's support has been largely diplomatic. Will the October visit change this? We'll be tracking it for you.
They'll be tracking it for us. So yeah, it's creepy out there, man. It's not. I don't know. It's weird to give somebody weapons to quote unquote defend themselves, and then they use the weapons as an offensive measure. Pretty sad. Pretty weird. But you know, that's where we are. Listening to this woman makes me want a Slurpee. Well, that's on you, I guess. Slurpee does sound good though. Yeah, nightmares about y'all hooking me up with Tom. Whatever. Don't say no to love yet, Amy. Love is in the air. Don't get mad at your new love, Tom. Just give him a chance, you know? You and Tom are about to make each other very, very happy. He'll sit around while you make crafts, and it'll work out great for everybody. Maybe you can even convince him to move back to Texas, which you miss so much, you know? Counteroffensive, technically. I mean, okay. I mean, if you're trying to like keep a position, right, and then your counteroffensive goes into somebody else's land, that's not really a counteroffensive, right? I do have a soft spot for red. Or the best defense is to go on offense and kill the enemy you're defending from. Yeah, no, that's fair. What up, pizza rolls? Morning, Corey. Wake and bake. Get your wake and bake on, bro. I ain't gonna hate. I haven't smoked weed in like 2 weeks now. It's crazy. Maybe 3. Corey, do you have the TISM? AUT, ISM, autism? That TISM? Probably. Doesn't everybody? Isn't that how it goes now? Everybody has it? Here we go.
I have AUT, ISM. I have AUT, ISM, autism.
Is that what you wanted, Brenda?
Don't be scared of me. Don't be scared of me. 'Cause we're the same, you and me. I have AUT.
Leaving a border that you're trying to protect is not really a counteroffensive, though. I mean, I know it can be, but like, I don't know. I think it's stupid. I know you don't agree with that, but whatever.
And play a game. I might seem different, but we're the there
you go.
To our friends. We both have ears and feet.
Bro, what the fuck is this?
We can stomp,
The tism.
stomp, stomp
You don't like
to
the tism?
beat. We can play happily. Take my hand and best friends we'll be. I have AUT, ISM. I have AUT, ISM, autism. Don't be scared of me.
Here's something about World War II. World War II's already over, man.
You and me.
I don't know, man. I don't think World War III is happening. Would be nice, but it's not gonna happen.
I have AUT, ISM, autism. Let's be friends and play a game. I might seem different, but we're the same.
You're dancing? Nice, get it.
We both have eyes and a nose.
There
We
we
have
go.
hands, we can wave to our friends.
Yeah, there we go,
both
get it.
have ears and feet. We can stomp, stomp, stomp to the beat. We can play happily. Take my hand and best friends we'll be. I have AUT, ISM. I have AUT, ISM, autism. Don't be scared of me. Don't be scared of me. 'Cause we're the same. You and me. I have AUT, ISM. I have AUT, ISM, autism. Let's be friends and play a game. I might seem different, but we're the same. I might seem different, but we're the same. We're the same.
There. Does that make you feel a little better? You know what? While we're doing that, I want to watch this again. Just because.
I've been working till the break of 4:45. I get in.
This is Richmond, north of Richmond, federal employee version. So,
I've been working till the break of 4:45. I get an automatic raise, and I can't be fired. Must wait till age 57 till I can retire with an inflation-adjusted pension that continuously keeps going higher. Oh, it's a damn shame what the world's come to. They want us back in the office on Mondays too. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Not living in the real world is a lot harder than you'd know. Sure, I got dental, but it's bad I go mental. 'Cause I had to fill out both of these forms. I also see price hikes on necessities. I had to purchase my rental in Ocean City. Please don't tell anyone. It's so embarrassing, the plight of rich man north of Richmond.
Hey, we have to have cameras on for today's meeting.
I just sit here wasting my whole life away, 'cause this verification code is taking all day. How do you expect me to check my 401k? Plus my fudge round supplier no longer takes Apple Pay. Oh, it's a damn shame what the world's come to. It takes one person to do my job, so we have to. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Not living in the real world is a lot harder than you'd know. Sure, I got healthcare, but I get an in-depth scare. Only weeks left to open enroll. New guy plays with his pen. He just sits there and snaps. How am I to get in on my 2 p.m. naps? They want us back now on Tuesdays. I just might collapse. The plight of rich man north of Richmond. We're just like you.
They're just like us, guys. It's fine. That kid freaks you out. Why does he freak you out? He shouldn't freak you out. He should make you happy. Should make you happy, bro. That's what you guys wanted. You wanted some autism. You wanted some of that. We got it all. We got it all for you guys. As we sit here and watch the landscape horizon go speeding by, lightning fast. Wee. Have you seen the trans version? I have not. There's a trans version? I have not seen that. Ronnie McNutt's emotional support shotgun. That's a great name. Fucking Ronnie. Ronnie was the only funny thing left on that show when I stopped listening. I could use some noises. Oh, you want some noises? All right. You know what? You bear with us on a bunch of shit here. So, all right, here. Let's get you some noises, bro. Oh, wow. It didn't come up right away on here. Hold on, let me find it. Oh, weird. Let's see if I can find it over here real quick. Here we go.
Say when these mics go.
There we go. Found it. This is for Mr. Approachable. He needs this today, guys.
We should do a montage of the first things we say when these mics go on. We should do a montage of the first thing when these mics go on. We should do a montage. 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 Because even after all these years, it's just
it's a song about weed.
Noises. Noises. Make sure all the tones are there. Yeah, you gotta feel it out. Make sure all the tones are there. Yeah, you gotta feel it out. Get some lows. Get some highs. Get some lows. Get some highs. Get some lows.
Italian Stallion.
Go ahead, Italian Stallion. You're on the air.
Corey, you really mad at me?
No. Why would I be mad at you?
Oh. Because you said, like, oh, I come in and bother you. I thought I was helping out the show, you know, because I'm better looking than you, and
yeah, no, you
a lot more funny. I'm more funnier.
I don't agree. I don't agree with those two talking points, but I'm definitely not mad at you.
So I wanted to point something out about the. You know what's really weird, man? Like I watch a lot of YouTube.
Yeah.
And like you got these people like rooting this fucking war on, like it's a football game or something like that.
I know, right?
That?
Yeah, and like if you're not in the hometown or visiting team's colors, they're like, "Fuck you, dude! You just don't like warfare sports." Yeah. Like if you like my experience, when the shit started, right? I was adamantly against this whole thing because I hate Ukraine and I hate Russia. And anytime you tell people you don't like Ukraine, they're like, "Oh, you fucking Russian stooge," and you're like, "No, fuck Russia too." You can actually hate both sides, but these guys they're like, if you're not rooting for the home or visiting team, fuck you. You don't like war sports, you know?
Yeah, dude, I remember, growing up in the 80s, those people wanted to kill us. That's all I remember, man. These people were out to kill us. Right. They had us scared. I don't know. They're crazy. My point is that I have never seen, all right? I put up videos sometimes when they get struck, right? For the past 2 years, dude, I've been seeing people getting blown up in fucking, in trenches. I've seen people running on fire on YouTube, and they don't... Dude, it's insane. I'm glad that someone actually thinks that this is fucked up. And
well, it's like the thing about it. The thing about it is that
war.
Ukraine. I followed Ukraine a bunch too, right? And the reality with Ukraine is like there are a bunch of Nazis went there after the fact. They've overthrown their government 3 or 4 times, and like they do atrocious things too. I'm not letting Russia off the hook. Fuck those guys forever, right? But like, it's basically like walking into like a room where it's like here's Stalin and here's Hitler, and if you don't choose one of these, you're fucking the enemy. You know what I mean? Like, no, fuck both those guys.
Yeah. Dude, if you ever come back here, drive through Manhattan, you can and count how many fucking Ukrainian flags. I've never seen a Ukrainian flag in my life.
Well,
I didn't even know what the hell it looked
honestly,
like until a few years ago.
That's what scares me so much about New York is like, and I'm not like, again, you seem cool, and I know there's a bunch of people out there that are cool, but they're just mindless fucking zombies, dude. Like, remember like when the fucking COVID hit, everybody's like, oh yeah, you have to do all that. Like anything their government tells them, they're like, ooh, can I lick these boots and do exactly what I'm fucking told? It's crazy how much these fucking liberal New York cocksuckers just fall in line like fucking NPCs, man. It's unbelievable. And again, I know there are people out there that aren't like that, but a majority of people, especially in like New York City, they're just non-thinking fucking like replicants. It's just anything they're told. Like how many people like think about this. Like you said you were like I was born in the 80s too, right? Growing up, right? How many like leftists did you know as a kid that were super anti-war? Now they're fucking pro-war as fuck.
Yeah, it's really bizarre. And dude, I really believe that these people are looking for a pat on the back from other people. They're looking for somebody to say, yeah, you're right. What you're saying is absolutely, they're looking for this so bad, dude, that they are willing to like support people being murdered. This is murder, guys. They're murdering people.
Right. And the other thing is like, we approve sending cluster bombs to them, which we are not allowed to use. Like, you know what I mean? This like, we've been doing this with fucking, what is it? Saudi Arabia to use on Yemen too. Like we keep sending weapons over that like, if we used, we'd be in a lot of fucking trouble.
Yeah. Well, right now, dude, I'm at the VA in Manhattan.
Okay.
And I'm telling you right now, like everybody here, right, everybody that I talk to, they're like, fuck Russia, fuck whatever. And these people are like, dude, they're veterans, but they were brought up to kill Russians. You know what I mean?
I guess I wouldn't fault that. I wouldn't fault that. Like if you were somebody that like, you know, was like Vietnam era or even I guess super old Korea era and you fucking hate Russians, I guess that's understandable. But like here's the counter to that, right? The Russians they hate is actually the USSR, and last time I checked, Ukraine was part of the USSR. So don't you hate those Russians too?
Right, and that's what right. I think it was Kiev was the capital, right?
I think Moscow
that's where all the
Kiev was like a big mover and shaker.
Yeah, I think right. So, but anyway, listen, Corey, I got to go on lunch, but seriously, it's like refreshing to actually hear people talk like this on YouTube because everybody's a bunch of pussies, man.
They are, man, and like I don't know, just remember, the world is not the weird like fucking garbage that New York that you live around. Although the Italian food there is better than anywhere else, and I miss it.
Italians are the best, Corey. I'll talk to you later, man.
Hey, add to my ethnicity. Fucking forget about it. Hey. Oh, there we go. Hey, Finland effed up the Soviet Union up. Yeah, I know. Finland was great. And now Finland's part of NATO. Oof. Russia, I bet Russia don't like that. All right, you know what? We're starting it over because I promised Mr. Approachable some goddamn noises.
Do a montage of the first things we say when these mics go on.
Stare into the abyss and embrace the noise.
When these mics go on. You should do a montage. 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 Because even after all these years, it's just dumb little noises. Noises.
Make sure all the tones are there. Yeah, you gotta feel it out. Make sure all the tones are there. Yeah, you gotta feel it out. Get some lows. Get some highs. Get some lows. Get some highs. Get some lows. Get some highs. Get some lows.
You just wanted to call in.
Slippy.
Go ahead, you're on the air.
Hey, Corey. Great show as always. I just wanted to follow up with what that last caller said and say that I'm 6'1", 195 pounds. I work out.
Okay.
I read books, and I'm looking for love. So anybody out there, hit me up.
Male
Thanks,
or
Corey.
female? Who are you looking for here?
Well, I thought this was the gay hotline, so that seems self-evident.
Yeah,
Bye,
okay.
Corey.
All right, bye. All right, well. Shout out to Noodles. He's got people calling in for him. Also, we had Amy committed to having Tom's baby. Guess we got to start it over again.
You should do a montage of the first thing.
This is going to get stuck in everybody's head, and it's all you callers' fault.
Montage of the first thing. When these mics go on. You should do a montage. 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 Because even after all these years, it's just dumb little noises. Noises. Make sure all the tones are there. Yeah, you gotta feel it out. Make sure all the tones are there. Yeah, you gotta feel it out. Get some lows. Get some highs. Get some lows. Get some highs. Get some lows. Get some highs. Get some lows. Get some highs.
Noises. Yep, 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 yep. Yep, 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 yep. Noises.
How we doing this morning? Let's do it. Let's do it. Yip, yip. Yip, yip. Let's do it. Yip, yip. Yip, yip.
Noises.
Yip, yip. Yip, yip. Let's do it. Yip, yip. Yip, yip. Noises. 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 It makes me want to rub my penis on a girl.
Ready to meet the poo-poo? Pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. All right. Gotta love it. Gotta love the old noises. That was for old Mr. Approachable. I love the aliens from Sesame Street. Yep, 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 yep. Those are all sound clips from O&A though. They were doing that, but yeah. The yep, yep, yep radio. That's the Sesame Street one for sure. Non-stop rocking. That's right. You're listening to the rock. Can't stop it. Rock. Super Grover, Snuffleupagus, and the little intro. Oh, all right. It's an interesting question that nobody asked. Oh my God. They're doing a live action Moana. Oh God. Please tell me this is not. This has to be fan made. There's no way. There's no fucking way. They're making a live action Moana. Oh my God. Oof. Oof, that's tough. Tough. Oh yeah, here's the tropical storm that descended out through the Carolinas
We know at least one person has died in Georgia and 2 traffic deaths in Florida are being investigated as possibly being storm
Kind of seems like they are entering
now,
their death
as
spiral,
Florida,
right?
Georgia, and the Carolinas begin the cleanup from Idalia, we're getting a new images of
do they hurt real bad?
Marcella Robertson has been sorting through the feeds all morning long, bringing us fresh video to give new insight into the destruction. And Marcella, walk us through what you found.
Yeah, guys, good morning. Lots to talk about here and still lots happening. This storm impacted 4 states after Florida. A week in Idalia made its way through Georgia, then the Carolinas, and this morning we've been checking in on those areas where really just seeing a lot of reports of damaged property. So I want to walk through what we've seen so far. Let's start in Southport, North Carolina. That's near the Cape Fear River. What you're looking at here, this is video of a vet clinic and a social media post. The clinic confirming that the roof is gone, part of the ceiling collapsed, but thankfully no one there was hurt. So that's good news there. A similar situation in South Carolina, towns like Hilton Head, they saw a really strong wind and some flooding. The mayor there says they are only dealing with some property damage after about 30 or so trees came crashing down, and of course dealing with power outages as well. Now before that, Idalia's strong winds ripped through Georgia. Video you're looking at there, that is where tens of thousands of people are still without power. This, what you're looking at here, Georgia Power tweeted this out. This is an example of what crews are up against right now in these recovery efforts. These trees down over power lines. This is in Lowndes County. That's only about an hour outside of Tallahassee, so a lot closer to Florida, obviously. And the Big Bend in Florida, this is where we saw the most significant damage. Coastal towns like Horseshoe Beach saw homes, businesses destroyed. This video here, incredible. It shows the moment that floodwaters swept this home away. You know, in the city of St. Petersburg, Pasco, Hernando, and Citrus counties, a lot of rescues happening there. First responders and the National Guard rescued dozens of stranded people.
Oh no, we're going to be going over to Twitch, Scruffy. We just we started a little bit late, so we're going to be about another 15 minutes here, and then we will be over at Twitch. We're never not on Twitch, my guys. Simmer down.
The response, though, has been swift, and people are getting the help they need. And while, again, many people have lost their homes, a lot of property damage in Florida, no loss of life has been reported. And I also want to mention that all state bridges in Florida are back open this morning. And guys, just 3 hours ago, Tampa International Airport fully reopened for both arriving and departing flights.
I did not take a
we shouldn't be
nap.
seeing that ripple effect on
I was doing laundry, if you
we
must know.
I'm
getting down to the nitty gritties.
Okay,
all right.
Steve.
Go ahead, you're on air.
Hey, Corey. I'm not as tall as your last caller, but I do work out. I like long walks on the beach. I have 6-pack abs and an 8-inch pecker. So if he could give me a call, that'd be great. Thank you.
Okay. Sounds where can they get a hold of? Oh, he hung up. They're turning the show into a gay dating hotline, which is fine, but they keep not leaving their numbers or way for the other gay men to get a hold of them. It's ironic, right? I took a white senzu bomb. Senzu bomb. Senzu bean. I want a senzu bean, bro. Hopefully Chud went swimming in that storm. Chad? You guys are just mean. Everybody's so mean. Just some mean people. I don't understand all the hatred. Yeah, a hurricane though. Oh, there we go. It's pretty fucking crazy. This is pretty gross, actually. Check this out.
Tonight, we are hearing from a mother in Queens who allowed her 5-year-old girl to walk off with a 75-year-old man. And as much as we think we know, this story is not actually so cut and dry. Eyewitness News reporter Sonia Rincon live tonight in Lower Manhattan, where that man will face a judge. Sonia?
Yes, Sandra, we spoke with the mother of that little girl tonight who told us she thought Franz Vila was someone she could trust and that he was more than just a casual acquaintance. Tonight, Vila is due before a judge accused of violating that trust in an unthinkable way, committing crimes here in Manhattan while a desperate search was going on in Queens.
Maybe they do have Cavo bombs or Cavo bars.
saying this is a police stunt. To reporters shouting questions, Franz Vila was taken from the Jackson Heights police station where he'd spent the last 24 hours to Manhattan Criminal Court, charged with kidnapping, unlawful imprisonment, and a criminal sex act on a 5-year-old. He's charged in Manhattan because that's where police say it happened, his East 97th Street apartment, which cops searched last night. When Vila and the 5-year-old were found in Jackson Heights yesterday afternoon after 3 hours of an intense search for them through the neighborhood, police now believe they were returning from Manhattan. Her mother had allowed Vila to take the little girl from a supermarket that morning to a park nearby since she wanted to go. This neighbor watched as the child seemed to leave her mother willingly with Vila. She seemed to like him, he says. She let him hold her hand. We spoke with the little girl's mother tonight, who told us Vila was actually a trusted friend who she first met a
firing
year ago,
squad.
not a month ago.
First we get a
and that
soldering
he had
iron in
spent
his
time
urethra.
with her and her daughter at their home. She says she thought they'd be back in half an hour or so, never imagining that this man, who himself is a grandfather, would harm her child. Now, police initially did charge the mother of the little girl with endangering the welfare of her child for letting her go with Vila, but the Queens DA has declined to prosecute her. That little girl tonight, who we are not naming because she is now considered a sexual assault victim, is in the care of her father and has been interviewed by special victims detectives. And Vila, who has no criminal history, is expected to face a judge here either late tonight or early tomorrow.
Fucking weird, right? Who the fuck turns that old and like, now I'm gonna be a sexual predator? That's fucking crazy. Gotta get to the other stuff with him. It's fucking weird, man. It's just such a weird story. Like, fuck that dude, but like, damn, dude. There it goes. Whatever, that guy needs to be again. Corey, what do you think about cultural appropriation? I don't believe in it. Cultures are supposed to appropriate. Whenever you say cultural appropriation, you're saying culture, or appropriation. It's a made-up term to make people feel bad for interacting with people in a culture which are supposed to be mixing pots. Cultural appropriation is one of the stupidest nothing burger phrases and mentalities on the entire place. I'm here for the comedy. What's up, Aaron's fat face? How are you? Or should I call you Girth Brooks? I'm glad I put this fucking IP tracker on there. What's up, James? How are you? Man of many IPs, this guy. I love it.
I got a comment.
All right, come on in. I got a comment. How are you?
All right. So, you know, watching that, okay, I want to tell everybody something. Another thing about living out here, okay, that maybe people don't realize is that there are so many people here that want to be so understanding about other people's cultures. That guy was obviously not born here. That guy's from another country. That guy has been taught different things in life, okay? The reality of it is, guys, that you have a bunch of people here from these other countries that have these bizarre fucking, like, morals. Bizarre morals. They forget that they're in their other country or they're in their country because we treat them as like, hey, listen, that guy's cutting up a pig in his front yard, you know, and nobody's saying anything because they don't want to fucking like, they don't want to be like rude. They don't want to sound racist. And this is the crap that happens. Dude, I'm telling you, the age of consent in Japan is like 12, right? In other countries, it's a lot lower. And when you don't call these people out because you don't want to be considered racist or whatever you are doing, this is why this crap happens. This guy, I guarantee, he's like, what did I do wrong?
Yeah. It's just so fucking weird that like it's all going to hell, man. It's crazy. Time to go buy a van and just drive out into the middle of nowhere and just live there. That's it.
Can I ask you a question? Is that why you moved out to Texas?
I mean, not exactly. I moved down here because comedy and fucking Minnesota was locked down where Texas wasn't over COVID, so it wasn't really able to, perform. But I mean, like being down here is also like Texas is the only state in the country that can secede. So if shit gets really fucked up, Texas will be the first one to be I'm out, because Texas is the only state that entered the country in a treaty. Texas is still technically a sovereign nation under a treaty acting like a state. That's why they don't have that's why they're not on the federal power grid. That's why you can fly the Texas flag as high or higher than the American flag, which is the only state that does that. But if shit goes really, really awry, Texas will just be like, all right, cool, we're out, we're Texas. They did it when the Civil War started. They did it when the Civil War ended. You know what I mean? Like Texas has a huge history of being like, yeah, all right, fuck you guys, Texas, you know?
Yeah. No, because I'm just wondering why people move out there. And I know some people from California that are moving out there, and it's like I kind of feel like they're moving out there because it's just cheaper or whatever. But
it's also cheaper.
Texas is like Texas seems like it's like the last bastion of freedom in this country. I was out in Pennsylvania last week. My friend moved out there because of the gun laws and stuff like that. And dude, I used to sell guns. I don't do it anymore. I sent all my shit out to Pennsylvania because I don't even know the laws anymore. I don't know what you think about guns, but for people that are into guns, like when a centimeter equals 20 years in prison, I'm not into it, man.
Yeah.
And it's just a bizarre country that we live in. But yeah, when it comes to that shit, dude, I'm telling you, here, there's a bunch of people out here, right? There was a guy they pulled over. He had a cow on the top of his car. They pulled him over, come do the Holland Tunnel or something like that. And he was a Guatemalan immigrant. And they asked him, what is he doing with a cow on top of his car? And he goes, oh, I went hunting. He went into some guy's fucking property in Pennsylvania, shot a cow, and put it on top of his car or something like that, and took it into Manhattan. These people are crazy, man.
Yeah, dude, it takes all kinds, man.
Yeah. But anyway, Corey, you're doing a great job.
Nice.
And I do think I'm funnier than you. I
know you believe that, but you know what? You know what? I also feel like you kind of need to, so I'm gonna let you have it. Because I know it's true. I know it's not true, and I don't need it. But you seem like you need it. So you know what? We'll let you have it.
Yes. So give me a shout out, Corey. Tell everybody I'm the best.
Shout out to Noodles. Yeah. He's the second best next to me. Like that? Did I do it right?
Thanks, Corey.
Have a good one, brother. Yep. Bye. All right, the old Noodles. All right, let's pop into the chat here quick. Give me Blade 3 hours time to make some wrinkly lampshades. Whoa. Anyone care for some chiclets? Whoa. Damn, that's pretty racist, dude. Jesus Christ. My brother, who I haven't talked to in forever, just called me a racist and said he identifies as African American now. Well, whatever, man. I'm white and I will chop a pig in front of my yard. What's wrong with that? Fair, yeah. If you're going to smoke it, that's fine. They changed Japan. Minnesota was not locked down when you moved to Texas. Yes, it was. They were on attendance. They were on attendance quotas, and a lot of places you had to show your vaccine passport to get into bars. You have no idea what you're talking about. Minnesota is full of Jesus Christ. That's crazy. Texas was forced back into the union like the rest of them. Yeah, but still under a treaty. Like they're not, again, not a state. They're a sovereign nation acting like a state. Texas just needs recreational pot and the ability to simultaneously carry weed and firearms and move there. Well, I mean, you kind of have that in Austin because it's decriminalized here. And it's a sanctuary city for guns, so you can walk around with guns all you want. Kill my animal, I'll put you down. Yeah, do it. Medical pot users can only own a gun and have a CC in Arkansas legally. Yeah, but like Texas is a sanctuary state for the Second Amendment. They just need the medical pot. Oh shit, it's Noodles. Yeah, a bunch of guys were calling in trying to date him earlier. Didn't find him particularly funny either. Who, Noodles? Yeah, whatever. He'll teach you correct type 5. I mean, whatever. Whatever. We'll argue about history later. I don't care, Schindler. So is Arkansas? I didn't even know Arkansas had medicinal weed. That's crazy. That's fucking nutty. Nutty, I tell you. And one more on here. This is outside the Gracie Mansion. This is about migrants. This thing is pretty chaotic. So a few days ago, this is in Manhattan.
A demonstration over the ongoing migrant crisis quickly turns violent. Protesters throwing punches, kicking, even choking each other. This chaotic scene unfolded at the doorstep of Gracie Mansion on Manhattan's Upper East Side. The NYPD made several arrests. Eyewitness News reporter Lucy Yang live at Gracie Mansion. Lucy?
Well, Sandra, the demonstration is over now, but the issue is far from over. What to do about the mounting
What's up,
crisis
Hobo Chili Recipe?
migrants.
How are you?
Every day, buses continue to pour into the city, and the problem is the city
I feel like that's not the real Hobo Chili
beds
Recipe,
and
though.
funds
It's a different
a
picture.
long time ago, and many taxpayers have run out of patience. Dozens took to Gracie Mansion Sunday afternoon, and it got heated.
Close the border already. This is unsustainable.
To cut through all the anger, it began with a rally over the migrant crisis.
I'm good. How are you, buddy? Good to see you.
Sanctuary city. Suffolk County is not sanctuary city. I pay $20K in property tax to live in Comac.
Organizer Curtis Lewa criticizing
Look at that
Mayor
beret.
Adams, who earlier this summer said he would welcome a few migrant families at Gracie Mansion if allowed.
That Hobo, did he change his picture? He must have changed his picture.
He said, they tell me I can't do that. Who told you you can't do it? You're the mayor.
This
You're the
crowd
mayor.
largely in agreement that
I'm wearing a fucking beret. Who told you you can't?
and must
Guy,
be obeyed.
guy's in a beret telling the mayor what he can and can't do. It's pretty nice.
Organizer Curtis Lewa criticizing Mayor Adams, who earlier this summer said he would welcome a few migrant families at Gracie Mansion.
All right, well, welcome in, guys.
The next day, he flipped the script and he said, they tell me I can't do that. Who told you you can't do it? You're the mayor.
You're the mayor.
This crowd largely in agreement that immigration laws
Why is a New
exist
Yorker in a
for
beret so
reason
funny to
and
me?
must be obeyed. That President Biden has left the back door and front door open to this
Troll
disaster.
conspiracy, you are still funnier than Corey, I'll give you that. Well, then you'd be wrong again. You really don't have any correct opinions, do you, today, Ronnie? Poor guy.
Awareness that there is a humanitarian crisis.
We're all for legal migration, and we all have come from somewhere at some point, but this is unacceptable.
At one point, words got physical. Flags were stolen and
So, Brian,
stomped
cool.
on
I'm glad you
as
watched something you enjoyed.
counter-protesters
Whatever.
tried to set them on fire. Eventually, the two sides were separated as the migrant crisis continues to divide and plague the nation.
Wherever they're from, they should go back, fill out an application, and come back with a court date in 5 years, 10 years, whatever, like my ancestors did.
You want to compromise? Move them all to Rikers Island.
Late this afternoon, City Hall released this statement, quote, "We have opened 206 sites, including 15 large-scale humanitarian relief centers, and are constantly searching for new places." There were many cries in this crowd for stronger borders and a national policy for immigration that's actually enforced. Until then, migrants continue getting shipped out to neighborhoods that cannot handle the influx and into communities that are starting to pull out the welcome mat.
So now New York is against migration. This shit is all getting interesting from every vector. All right, let's get caught up in chat and get the fuck out of here. You guys are stupid. Beats are snazzy, it's true. Oh, yeah. Ryan with his non-comment as always. What's up, Ryan? Everyone knows your arguments are invalid if you don't have a beret. Oh, well, then I've lost every argument ever. Guardian Angels, they were the shit back in New York. They cleaned up Times Square. All right. Christmas on the street. I have all the correct opinions. I'm sure you do, Ronnie. Ronnie has never been wrong. Well, he's been wrong a bunch in the chat already today, friendo, so whatever. Chris Silwa is an American activist, radio talk show host, and founder and executive chief officer of Guardian Angels, a nonprofit organization for unarmed crime prevention. All right, well, there we go. Which people would wear a beret correctly? That's the soldier in me. Right, like when they do it to the side like that, that's a weird thing, right? I don't know, it's just like you're not fucking John Wayne posing for a fucking movie poster. Put the fucking beret on correctly. That, like, I'm not even military, and that bothers me, hobo, for sure. I fucking hate that shit. Like, oh, look at me, I'm wearing a beret. Like, fucking, like, oh, look, here's my beret. I could put it like this, but I'm going to put it like that. Like, fucking, no, wear it correctly. I get it. You've seen, like, a Chuck Norris movie. Shut the fuck up and wear it. That guy's super important in the 80s. He's famous during the blackouts. I wear a beret in the fall. Who wears berets? I don't know, man. I want a raspberry beret. The kind that you could find at a secondhand store. Raspberry beret. I mean, that's the only kind there should be. I just like, who the fuck, like, honestly, I just don't understand, like, berets and fedoras. Like, who the fuck are wearing these hats these days? I mean, wear whatever you want, obviously. But, like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Keep laughing at the dude's stupid mustache. Which one, mine? Cool, laugh it up. Funny how blue cities all of a sudden see an immigration problem. Well, that's because the red state, like Florida and Texas, have been shipping them into them. Like, Florida and Texas have shipped immigrants to New York. I only wear berets when I'm naked. Gross. What are your favorite chips? All chips. It's a raspberry, right? Do they make a beret to fit Corey's giant hunk? They do, as a matter of fact. I just wear an ass hat. Ugh, well, in your case, you are what you wear, bro. Somehow the cowboy hat persists as a functional hat. I don't know, man. I'll tell you this. Since moving down to Texas, I get a cowboy hat, man. I get it. I don't have one, but man, this giant hat that shields you from the sun, and it's not like the way it's curved up, it doesn't get in your way. It's I don't know. It's a very practical hat. I'm not outside enough to merit it, but yeah. Well, that does it for us. All the chips, I guess. Yeah, I love all the chips. I don't know. There's some chips I hate, but yeah, I don't know. Favorite chips? We're talking Sun Chips. I like Sun Chips a lot. Doritos, like nacho cheese Dorito with jalapeno cheese dip from Frito-Lay is my favorite, but I don't have it very often because it's just like, you know, tubs of pus. I've worn a fedora. I'm not proud of it though. Yeah, but were you doing it for somebody that was like renting you for like sexual time or something? Like, was it somebody else's request or just of your own volition? That's the key. If you wore it of your own volition, then yeah, don't be proud of that. If you did that to like, you know, satiate a lover, that's fine. I do like Sun Chips. Sun Chips aren't bad. Doritos are good. Yeah, we're going over to Twitch Talk now. Twitch.tv/Corey Adam Comedy. Twitch Talk, baby. We got a very fun, we got a little movie planned for today. It'll be a nice little movie day today. I found a documentary that somebody said you have to watch because it's the most Texan thing ever, and then I found it copyright free, and I'm like, oh, we're doing this. So, no, I was on drugs. Well, that counts too then. It's fine. All right.